Hello and welcome to another quick drawing lesson. This week we're going to draw the Shelby Cobra, which was requested by Bernard. So the first thing we'll do is a wheel over this side. Try to draw lightly. The wheelbase for this car is 2 wheels, so you measure 1 wheel, 2 wheels further back and draw another one. And next we need the bottom of the car, which comes about halfway between the ground and the middle of the wheel there, just a horizontal in there. The rear end of the car, that would be this side here, that's going to be just over half a wheel, maybe 3/4 of a wheel further back. So here's half a wheel, maybe a tiny bit more. We'll just draw a little line in there to tell us where the end of the car will be. We could bring the floor up slightly from here, so it starts level with that, tilts up a bit at the back. The front of the car, again, if you come to the front edge of the wheel, just have a very small overhang. Gets slightly bigger up here where the headlights are. So what's that? Maybe a third of a wheel further forward. Now we need to add 1/4 of a wheel on top of the front wheel arch, then make a little mark there. And we could add a little bulge in front of this back wheel as well, just as a place marker. Now what we're going to do is a curve that starts kind of almost, well, just a tiny bit higher than the front wheel there at this front mark, curves up to meet that top of the wheel arch, and then drops down till it hits this line. So kind of a nice flowing arc, quite a shallow arc. And then the same thing happens with this one. So, but here, the highest point of the rear wheel arch is sort of almost level with the back of the wheel here. So again, add 1/4 of a wheel on. That's going to be the high point, and we need some kind of a curve that comes through there and tapers back off down towards the back there. There's your basic kind of cobra shape. Now we can go to the halfway point, halfway between the wheels, and this is going to be where the windscreen starts. So that's sort of in a 45-degree-ish kind of angle, and we can add the front edge of the door. It doesn't come all the way down to the bottom, and then it curves, it goes across a bit. And then the back edge of it has got more of a slope to fit around that bulging arch. Now we just need to add a bit of thickness to this bonnet area and things to show that it's got curves. So the windscreen will be slightly broader than we've got it, and the bottom edge will curve, and that point there will then run into the bonnet. That just tells you that the car has got kind of a curving top surface. And also in that area we've got a scoop which starts kind of where the back edge of the front wheel is. So kind of a bulge there in the bonnet. If you like, you can add a roll hoop. Some have these, some don't. So we're onto the details now, I suppose. So we can have a little rear view mirror, wing mirror. And also there we can have a steering wheel. And some of the cars have these, and not all of them. But a side pipe, I think, exhausts coming out the side. I think they're quite cool. And then above that, we have this kind of slope, what's that called, a parallelogram or rhombus, and there are these air intakes just behind the front wheel. They're quite good. And we need to put the headlights on, so they can stick out slightly further forward than your front edge. If you put a little bit of shading halfway up them, it looks like they're chrome, because that's generally where you get the horizon reflected. And below that you can get, sometimes they have bumpers and sometimes they have just sort of jacking points. That's what those weird forks are. And again, the lights can stick out the back slightly. So now I'm just ever so slightly pressing firmer in some of these places where it should be darker. Just adding a bit of shading, and some windscreen wipers would be good. And it's quite a simple shape, it hasn't taken too long to do. So I think what we'll do is add a bit of motion to it and add a driver. So almost at the halfway point between these, just draw a little circle. That would be like a helmet with a peak on. There we are. It's an open face helmet, little nose poking out, some goggles. And remember, if you do the shoulders, to do them quite far further back than the head. People often put the shoulders underneath the head, but the head tends to be in front. Then you can have the arms stretching out in front, and you've got a driver. And now, how about some dust? A shadow underneath. A few bits of dust flying around. Remember to show the wheels on the far side of the car, just so it's got a bit of depth. And do that darker so that it's in shadow. Maybe I like doing these little whiz lines through the air. Just adds a bit of extra speed. And if you like, you can customize it further with some decals and things, maybe a number on the side or something. Or a couple of stickers. Make it look a bit more racy. And that's pretty much it. There's a Cobra of sorts. Hope you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments if there's a particular car you'd like me to try next, and I'll see what I can do. I've got a few on the list already, but can always add a few more. Have a good week. See you again soon.